Namaskara, my name is Manivannan. I am a career bureaucrat. I joined the Indian Administrative Service in the year 1998. This is the 25th year. From the Primus B School, they wanted to have a small interview. They have some questions. I am happy to answer them. Educational and social background. Nana social background helpudutana. My parents hail from South Tamil Nadu. Those days it was called as Madurai. Now it is Theni district and Tirunelveli district. My father is the first person in the family to go to PUC, pre-university. Adu kuda avaru complete madilla and he joined as a clerk in the Indian Railways and he retired as a office superintendent. My mother, she passed 10th class and after that got married. And I belong to the caste or community, what do you call as the scheduled caste or Dalit. In my entire family tree, I am the first one to come to a central government job. After seeing me, my younger brother also got inspired, thinking that if money can get into service, I can also get into service. And he also wrote UPSC and he became an IPS officer from 2009 batch in Tamil Nadu cadre. So why I am saying this is that my social background is one from what you call as a socially backward class or community, and thanks to the government support, the scholarships, the reservation, everything from the backward class community, now I am sitting as an IAS officer, and we should thank the Constitution of India which has enabled this mobility. Now I don't require reservation, now I don't require any support from the government, but there are lakhs and crores of people who require this support. My educational background, thanks to the government, I studied engineering, chemical engineering from Regional Engineering College. Now they call it as National Institute of Technology, NIT, Tiruchirappalli. In 1994 I passed out, and afterwards I joined the Steel Authority of India Limited in Bihar. Then Bihar, now it's Jharkhand, Bokaro Steel City. I worked there for 4 years from 94 to 98. Then I cleared the examination and joined the IAS. After joining IAS, somehow I could not continue my studies for anything, busy with the work, and thanks to Government of India, they sponsored my master's program in public administration from Harvard Kennedy School, 1 year program. And currently I am doing my, I am perusing my PhD from ISEC, Institute of Social and Economic Change, Nagarbavi, Bangalore. I hope to keep educating myself as much as possible. UPSC preparation. So I am the right candidate to talk about the preparation from ground zero, because when I decided that I will give civil service examination when I was in Bihar, Bokaro, though I have studied about IAS and I thought of giving IAS after my BTech, the real starting point was in 1995 later part, where I went to give the preliminary examination, and I think those days the exam was not so tough as it used to be. So I could clear without preparation in the first attempt. Prelims I could clear, so I got a lot of confidence. I thought, okay, I should do the mains. Then I took leave from my job, I sat and studied, and I could clear in the second attempt. But if you ask what helped me, one is that lot of books I used to read from my schooling days, because my father, with his very meager salary, used to buy lot of books. Books means books in second hand. Old books he used to buy. If you buy books in second hand as like a bundle, out of 10 books, some 3-4 books will be good. The rest will be journals and other base material. So I used to go through the books which I used to get from my father. So I used to read a lot. So that helped me, number one. Number two is that your hard work matters. When I prepared for 2 years for my civil service, I almost stopped all type of social activity. Only went by the goal that I have to somehow clear this examination. And I did join a coaching institute for my mains for general studies. It does help. One is that when you sit with others and study, it focuses you. It gives you some confidence that you are with the right group, that you are not missing anything. That's very important, that you join a good mentoring or coaching. It helps. Some people are genius. They say, I don't need any coaching, I can do well and good. But for an average person who wanted to do civil service, getting a coaching, a support does help you in that. So this is about my preparation. How did I achieve success in my work? So it will be preponderance and arrogance if I say that I am successful in my work. It's a learning every day. If you think that I have done reasonably well in my job, the reason is first one will be compassion towards people, that you should be genuinely interested in others. That gives you time to think about others. If you are not interested about others, then probably you don't think about them. That's one. And second thing is, I think you should be little courageous. Courageous in the sense, at times it may look reckless, but we have to take the call. So I remember the good memories of my service, or those memories where I have been courageous. 100% time being courageous will be little difficult. But yes, good things happen when you are really bold and you are not scared. So these are the two things, and probably guidance from the seniors, because there's so much of experience which you can get it free of cost by listening to the seniors. So I have been lucky to have seniors like late Gokul Ram sir, Vinay Kumar sir, we have Ramasheshan sir. They all worked as IAS officers in Karnataka government, and they set a benchmark which guides people like us. I hope that I should do something good, that my junior colleagues also think that okay, we should follow it. I also remember Mr. B.S. Baswan, the IAS Academy Director, who taught how one has to be humble when one has the authority and power. Yes, many others whom you read in the book, etc. You have to learn. As long as you keep learning, you keep improving. So that I would say is the secret for success, for doing well in any career or any job. Thank you for that wonderful question. Next. Oh, strategy. Okay. See, the strategy is diverse. As many people are there, that many strategies will be there. But one or two things I can say as a strategy is that surround yourself with people who are preparing for civil service. That gives you some focus. It also avoids your mind going diverse or wandering. This question people have asked you so many times. What is the strategy? What is the strategy? I would say don't copy anybody's strategy. That is a good strategy, because when you do civil services, it is almost like a war. So there is no established way of winning a war. Each person has to have a different strategy depending upon the terrain, depending upon the time, depending upon the person capacity and capability. So if there is a genius fellow, brilliant fellow, his strategy will be different. If there is a person who has difficulty in understanding things, his strategy will be different. So don't go by a common strategy. But there are three things I can say which will generally help anybody. One is, please avoid any diversion. The sense, when you are giving civil service examination, please focus on that. I will go also do some job. I will do this. I have somebody to take care. If you have such things which will add to your diversion, then it will be difficult for you to clear. 2 years in your life, please keep everything aside. My marriage plan, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, please keep it aside. 2 years, you and your exam. If you cannot do that much, what are you going to do later in your civil service without focus? So that is number one. Number two strategy is, you have to read lots of books, 50 to 100 books you have to read. So start reading habit, start reading, taking notes, understanding things. Very, very important. And the second strategy. Third strategy is practice. How you are going to give the prelims or mains, keep on doing it, which they call it as a mock. So these mocks should keep on happening again. So if you go to the coaching centers, they'll give you mock that is taken care. They'll also tell you what to read. It also takes care. So this will put you in a path. But these are the three things. Avoid diversions, read a lot, do practice. 3 general strategies. Now depending upon you, you have to add other things to you. Starting early, does it help? Yes, of course it helps. So if you are able to start your preparations as early as possible, it is good. In fact, ideally you should start by 8th standard itself. You start the reading habit. You should start reading the newspapers. So when you go for IAS, the amount of knowledge you're expected to have is enormous. Where do you gain the knowledge? Not by sitting and watching movies, not by playing outside. You need to gather knowledge from books. Now internet bandbitide, there are a lot of TV shows are all there. So watch them. But the most effective thing of gaining knowledge is book, because it goes at the right speed and you can set how much you can read, how much you can absorb. Whereas if you see a movie for 1 hour, probably some of the things you may miss. You may not get into that. So start early by reading books. That's very, very important. And also have a good hobby, in the sense, why I'm saying a good hobby is that because anything monotonous will not add value to you. So any game you want to do, you can do. Any other passion, explore that actually. You should be a rounded personality. It will add to your understanding also. So start early as possible, but you need not have the same intensity. So exam is next year. This year should be very, very intensive work will be there. But if you are starting some 5-6 years before, you need not have the same intensity. But starting early helps. Message to the young aspirants. The first thing is, not only for clearing the civil service exam, anything in your life, the first thing is you must believe that you can do it. There's a very famous saying which says that every battle in this world is won actually 2 times. The battle is won in the mind of the general, then it happens on the field. So you have to win your first battle, that is, you should believe that I am capable of clearing this exam. That should come to you. How does it come to you? By practicing the exam and getting consistently good marks. See, how do you get confident that you can do a high jump? You have to practice. Suppose they keep a pole and ask me to jump I will not have the confidence. But the person who has jumped it 10 times will have the confidence, he can jump on the 11th time. So when you are giving the exam, prelims or mains, you should have done it in practice so many times that you know that, oh, it is one more jump for me, I will be able to do it. So my message to you is, have the confidence. Confidence comes from practice and getting same consistent good grades. These two things are there, you will succeed. See, I will tell from the leaders I have observed, whomever I observed, the leaders, successful quality is the confidence. That's the first thing. A leader cannot be doubtful on anything. You cannot be doubtful about yourself. You cannot be doubtful about anything else. You should have some clarity. So the first and foremost thing for a leader is confidence that comes from clarity. Number one. Number two is courage. Confidence, the next step is courage. You should be courageous. Anybody who has fear cannot be a leader, because people are looking at him that what you are going to do, I am going to follow that. So second is courage. Third is compassion. You should have empathy for others. If you have confidence, if you have courage, if you don't have empathy, sympathy for others, you will be into yourself. You will become a dictator. You may become very powerful, but the power may not be useful to others. So a good leader is somebody who is capable of taking tough decisions confidentially for the welfare of others. If you take decision for your own welfare, then you are not a good leader. Only three things: confidence, courage, compassion. Thank you.